What is up? What is up, awesome people of the internet? Guys, happy Friday. We made it to another Friday. I'm so excited. How about you? I hope you all are having a great morning today. Welcome to Quita in the Mornings. My name is Quita. We are in the mornings and we talking about some women's hoops. So make sure to turn your TV up a little bit, sit down on your couch, and watch the show because we got some good stuff to talk about today, and I hope y'all are excited about it. Looks like y'all are already getting after it in the chats. I love it. I love it. I love it. Guys. Y'all are active right now. Man, good morning. Good morning, David. Good morning, Alonzo. Good morning, Michael. Good morning, Kentucky Rick. Good morning, Frank. Guys, this is good morning, W Brazil. This is a great morning because it is Friday. All right, we got a couple of important things to talk about. The theme of today, as always, I have a theme for my shows, and today is full speed ahead. That is the theme for today, and that will be kind of like what I talk about in each of the three topics. All right, so today I'm covering primarily three topics. Number one, we're talking about Cadence Samuels leaving UConn and what's next for her. We're going to talk about Janiah Barker and London Jones leaving, getting ready to leave UCLA. We're going to talk about Unrivaled and the numbers that they had this past season and how they almost broke even and what's next for them as they go into next season. And that's the main part of what we're talking about today. And I hope y'all are ready for it. Okay. Now, guys, let's get into the conversation. All right. First up, let's talk about Cadence Samuels, because Cadence Samuels has entered the transfer portal, and guys, honestly, this is no surprise at all, but it is official. Cadence Samuel of UConn has entered the transfer portal after 2 seasons with the UConn Huskies, and this isn't a shock for anybody that was paying attention. She came to Stores as the 41 ranked recruit in the class of 2023, and she was a promising bigger guard with length, athleticism, and a smooth jumper. But UConn's backcourt has been crowded, especially this past season. And it was very tough for Cadence to crack some minutes. Despite some flashes of potential that Cadence Samuels has, she just never really got a full runway that she needed to really take off. As a freshman, she showed some sparks. In her debut game, she ended up dropping 11 points. And, she, over the course of that first year, she averaged around 5 points a game, 2.6 rebounds a game, just under 13 minutes a game. Like, pretty solid numbers in general. Like, not crazy impressive, not crazy bad, especially for a freshman at UConn, right? You don't expect, a lot to happen. But, there was some thought of, okay, what does year 2 look like for Cadence Samuels? And unfortunately for her, UConn ended up needing her even less this year than before. And that's because of some of the new acquisitions that the UConn Huskies had this past season. They didn't need her as much. And so she went from playing around 12 minutes a game, because also remember, last year there were so many injuries for UConn. Remember that. This is a team that it felt like half the team was injured most of last season. Not this past season, the year before that. So I guess 2 seasons ago now, since this year is officially over. But 2 seasons ago, right, we had so many players injured for UConn. That was when Paige was playing power forward, right? And so Cadence Samuels had to play a lot of minutes. And then we go into this year where just about all the core players were healthy, basically the entire year. You brought in Kaylin Chen, who was just another player, another guard, right? And Cadence Samuels' minutes that she saw as a freshman severely dwindled as a sophomore. This past year, she only averaged around 5.5 minutes a game, 1.3 points a game when she did come in. So, of course, not much at all. And she was really the last off the bench option for UConn. And it just shows how deep and how talented this UConn roster is. This is one of those things where, she is a great player, but sometimes greatness does not materialize on every team because she is on a team of full out stars. Okay? Full out stars. And if you're on UConn, not everybody can be a star. And so Cadence Samuels leaves UConn with the national championship. And that's not a small thing, right? And now she gets to have a fresh start, a chance to find a program where she can be a consistent contributor, not just a buried role player fighting for scraps of playing time. She has 2 years of eligibility left, and the kind of experience that she has from competing against the best of the best at UConn in practice is going to be a great addition wherever she lands. I anticipate her going to a definite smaller school, right? I don't see her, I could see her being a star at a mid-major. She could absolutely be a star at a mid-major if that's what she wanted to do. And hey, UConn, they don't have people transfer from them very often. That's not what they do, right? This is the third transfer portal departure in the past 2 seasons. We had Inez Betancourt last year, and as well as Amari DeBerry. And this opens up another roster spot for UConn. Here is what their here's what their scholarship grid looks like. Shout out to UConn Women's Basketball Weekly for putting this out. And as you can see for next season, we got Carolyn Ducharme, AZ Fudd, KK Arnold, Ice Brady, Ashton Shade, Morgan Shelley, Janet L. Alfie, Ayanna Patterson, Sarah Strong, Allie Zeeble. And then we have the freshmen. We got 3 freshmen coming in for UConn next year. And Cleese Fisher, Gandhi, and Bianca. So 2 open spots for UConn next year. We'll ultimately see who they end up filling that with. They do have spots, okay? They do have spots, and there is someone who there's a lot of talk about. There's a lot of talk about someone in particular joining this UConn team for next year. As of right now, nothing has been solidified just yet. But there is talk of Sarah Williams of Wisconsin. She's a 6'4" junior. There's some talk about her possibly going to UConn. All right, there is some talk about her possibly going to UConn. We'll see ultimately what happens there. As of right now, nothing has been solidified just yet. But yeah, there is a lot of talk about possibly UConn being interested in Sarah Williams of Wisconsin. I think that would be huge because Sarah Williams averaged 19.2 points a game, 9.8 rebounds a game this past year. So we'll see what happens. Still a huge question mark of where Sarah Williams ended up going. There's a lot of places that want her real bad, for sure. All right. DW says Sarah has a ring to it. I mean, it does kind of. It does. Sierra says, what is this color-coded chart? You make this? I did not make this. However, shout out to UConn Women's Basketball Weekly, specifically Daniel Connolly. He made this chart. And blue is the seniors, juniors are red, sophomores are green, and freshmen are this sort of like, orangish yellowish color. So yeah, that's what we're at right now. Again, shout out to Daniel for the scholarship grid. I think this would be helpful to have for every single team. So maybe that's what I'm gonna figure out a way to do that, because I think it'd be very, 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 very helpful to have a chart like this for all the teams, not just UConn. So shout out to them for making it, but yeah, I should look into trying to see if I can make this for all the other teams, because this would be very helpful for me just to view it in this way instead of having to just kind of view it all separately. Like, this is a good chart, really, really good chart. All right, next up, let's talk about UCLA, who is going to be figuring out something different because they got a lot of players entering the transfer portal. This is not official just yet. However, this will be official shortly, because it's another day, another pair of high-profile transfers likely entering in the transfer portal. This time from the Final Four. We got juniors Janiah Barker and London Jones getting ready to head into the transfer portal. Guys, this was reported by ESPN yesterday. They're not officially in just yet, but sources are telling them that they are going to be in the portal very, very soon. And guys, to be completely honest with you, I am not surprised at all. At all. Okay? At all. I'm not surprised. And let's start with Janiah Barker. All right, so Janiah Barker was a player who was fantastic at Texas A&M. She was the highest ranked recruit in Aggie history as number 3 overall in her class. And Janiah Barker was really, really fantastic at Texas A&M. As a sophomore, she started 27 of 30 games, led her team in a lot of ways. She was, in a lot of ways, like the big factor for Texas A&M. And I thought, okay, she can make some stuff happen, right? She's 6'4". She has size. She has some movement to her, right? She can absolutely make some stuff happen. But then she made the decision to transfer. She said, you know what? My stock is really, really high. I am going to go and explore my options elsewhere. I'm going to go and see what I can do, right? I was averaging around 12.7 points a game, 5.9 rebounds a game as a freshman at Texas A&M. As a sophomore, I averaged 12.2 and 7.6 rebounds a game. I was doing some stuff, making some stuff happen. I wanted to enter the transfer portal. And Janiah ended up going to UCLA. And after she got her transfer to UCLA, she kind of got lost in the shuffle after that. She was a big deal, big deal at Texas A&M. She goes to UCLA. She started a little bit and just kind of got buried on the bench. This was not a team that was built, in my opinion, for her success. And so she got lost in the shuffle. Despite being, in my opinion, one of like a very, very versatile and explosive power forward, Barker spent her 1 year mostly coming off the bench. Sure, she won the Big Ten Sixth Player of the Year award. Yeah, sure. But that honor kind of felt a little weird. It felt like, yeah, sure, it was a great honor, but at the same time, it was given to someone who, in my opinion, was a misused asset for UCLA. This year, she averaged 7.4 points a game, 6 rebounds a game, 17.5 minutes a game on average. Sure, solid numbers, but, in a lot of ways, she was the energy boost that UCLA needed when they saw it. Right? But she never kind of got the consistent role that she needed to sort of match her ability. And I felt like there was never really a plan for Janiah Barker on the court. It was just sort of like get on the court and just do something. There wasn't really plays for her. It didn't really feel like she kind of fit. And so she ended up just going in the game and just doing the most because she knew, it felt like she knew that she wasn't going to be in very long. And so, yes, they ended up seeing some serious mistakes happening on the court from her. But she has a lot of potential. It just, UCLA just wasn't the right fit, it seemed. And now, with Sanaya Betts coming in, Lauren Betts' sister, Barker's minutes were pretty much gone for next year, right? They were not going to go up. If anything, her minutes were going to go down. All right? In my opinion, Janiah Barker is a huge talent. However, there was no real, in my opinion, guidance given to her on the court, and it just felt like she just went out there and just did whatever. And she's someone who like was able to rock out in the SEC and hold her own, right? She is someone who I thought was pretty successful at Texas A&M, but sometimes when you leave and go somewhere else, sometimes you think it may be better, but sometimes it's not better. So now, what's next for Janiah Barker is full speed ahead, going somewhere else that does a little bit more to prioritize her as a talent, likely has her starting. So that way she can get her all ready for the WNBA, because that is her next step, is the WNBA. All right, we got some super chats. I want to get to those. Thank you so much for all the people who have given super chats. If y'all could make sure to hit that like button. Hit that like button, guys. We got about 400, almost 500 people in the chat, but we only have 100 likes. Please make sure to hit that like button. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you so much, Sierra, for the super chat. Says, happy Friday, Quita and awesome people of the internet. $10 for the chat support. So appreciate chart makers of the internet to follow along easier. Yeah, again, shout out to UConn Women's Basketball Weekly for that chart. Truly, that was very helpful. And if I can find more charts like that, I will make sure to share them on this channel and shout out the person who made it. And hopefully we could eventually down the road, end up making our own charts as well. That'd be awesome. But again, Sierra, thank you for your continued support of the channel. Awesome person of the internet, Frank. What up? Mod extraordinaire says, I love the themes. Quita, let's go. Well, thank you so much for your support, Frank. Appreciate it. You are always rocking with me, and I appreciate it very, very much. All right. Okay. Let's continue on, and let's talk about the other player who will be entering the transfer portal. Now, she has not officially entered just yet, but sources are telling ESPN, or ESPN wrote about it yesterday, and so, yeah, about London Jones entering the transfer portal. And for London Jones, this is a story that is, again, missed potential that just didn't work out for UCLA. And the reason why I say that is because in a slightly opposite way, whereas Janiah Barker spent most of the time coming off the bench, London Jones ended up getting a starting role for UCLA. She spent all of her seasons so far at UCLA. Like, this is the first time she's leaving. Janiah Barker was at Texas A&M and then transferred to UCLA. London Jones has spent all 3 years so far of her playing career at UCLA. And she started in 31 games this year. And she was holding it down as the starting shooting guard, right? She made 87 threes this past season, which is a program record. Or 2 seasons ago. And this year, she knocked down about 35% of her three-point shots. But her scoring did dip from 11.8 points a game to 8.5 points a game. And most importantly, she was asked to play out. She was asked to sort of be a player who, in a way, was kind of playing out of position of sorts. She's a 5'4" scorer, right? She's someone who can knock down threes. The issue wasn't really talent. I just think the fit didn't make sense. UCLA had London Jones starting, and I said this early on in the season, and I continued to say it as the season went on. London Jones, to me, was not a starter for UCLA. London Jones was someone who, in my opinion, needed to come off the bench for this UCLA team and bring that spark off the bench, not necessarily be a starter for this team. And now she's out. She's out the door. She's going to go somewhere else. She's going to try to go somewhere else and be successful. Where exactly she goes, I'm not sure. But again, London Jones, Janiah Barker, they're not the only ones who are leaving UCLA. There's a list of Bruins entering the portal as well. And also including all 4 members of last year's freshman class. So that's a thing. There's an exodus happening at UCLA. And they still have a lot of talent on their team, right? You got Lauren Betts returning. You got Kiki Rice returning. You got Charlize Legger-Walker, who will be healthy next year. So that's a huge one. She was out all season this year. And you got Sienna Betts coming as well as a freshman. So they're going to look pretty good next year. But after this many exits, after a Final Four season, it does raise a little bit of eyebrows, a little bit. Something just totally isn't clicking with UCLA to have, in my opinion, high-level players like a London Jones, like a Janiah Barker walking away from a title contender. However, both players now get to reset and figure out what they want to do next. And hey, if a team needs a scorer, particularly one that comes off the bench, hey, give London Jones a call. Or if it's not a Final Four team, I could see her possibly being a starter. But a potential Final Four team, I think she's someone who comes off the bench and brings energy and brings a 3-point shooting. And if you need just energy, just someone in the post who can make a lot of stuff happen, Janiah Barker's your player. Janiah Barker is your player. Stanley says Jones will be one of the many girls going back to their old coaches and saying they were just playing and need their spot back. I don't think so. I think London Jones is out. Thank you so much, I Care Too, for the super chat. Salute to you. Says thank you. I appreciate it with the. Is that a heart? There we go. I appreciate you, I Care Too, for the super chat. Really do appreciate your support. Thank you. W. Bazil says, wasn't there an 80s song called London Calling? I don't know. I do know London Bridge is falling down. I ended up adapting it. Maybe some of y'all heard me in a random stream. I was like, London Jones is draining threes. London Jones is draining threes, and there's nothing you can do about it. Y'all, I'm a big fan of London Jones. I think London Jones is a really, really, really good specialist type of player. There's some players who they're really, really good at one thing, and this is not to say that that's all London Jones could do, but I think that's what she does the best. But the problem was, as a starter, I think some of those threes were forced. I think sometimes she played a little bit too many minutes, and like if it wasn't working, pull her off and try it again next time, right? You know, the UCLA versus South Carolina, I think that was the game where London Jones was like, she was really, really doing her thing. Because she's someone who can get hot from the three and just, you know, she can get in the groove and not miss, right? Against South Carolina, what, she was like 5 of 7 from the 3-point line, something like that, or she's 5 of 5 from the 3-point line in that South Carolina game. Like, again, she is someone who can be a huge, huge, huge spark for her team. And you want to know how she did that? She came off the bench in that game. London Jones came off the bench in that South Carolina game, and to me, I thought that was a huge reason as to why she was doing what she was doing. I think that's the big thing. Big, big, big thing. That was a very, very big thing. JH is asking, I wonder what happens to the ones in the portal who don't find a new team. Do they go back to their old ones? Do they just get dropped and lose their scholarships? It's the latter. Yeah. So if you enter the transfer portal, if you can't find a place to go, you can't find a new destination that's going to give you a scholarship, and if you say, hey, actually, I'm just kidding, I want to come back, and your team that you just left says, no, we already filled your spot, then you're scholarshipless. You're teamless. You have to now figure out something else to do. Now, does that happen? Yes. It happened last year where we hit the end of the transfer portal and there were way more people in the transfer portal than players that found teams. So there were some players that were in this limbo land of like, what do I do? What do I do next? I don't know where to go. Right? That's going to happen. Now, is it going to happen to like the top talent? No, it's not. Right? There is, in my opinion, no instance where we wind up seeing a player like a Janiah Barker or London Jones without a team. They're going to be on a team next year. Like I don't anticipate it happening where they won't have a team. I think there are players who are in like mid-major programs who enter the transfer portal. Some of them, they may enter thinking that they got a lot of prospects and then unfortunately realize that those prospects don't exist and they'll be without a team and they got to figure out something else to do. You know, maybe they can go to JUCO, they can go to D2, D3. You know, they can figure out something else. All right, next up, let's talk about the news that we kind of talked about yesterday. We'll talk about it again today. Cody McMahon has chosen a new school. All right. Cody McMahon is heading to Ole Miss. I talked about it a little bit yesterday, but right after my stream was over, the news became officially official that Cody McMahon is going to Ole Miss. This past year for Ohio State, she averaged 16.5 points a game, 4.7 rebounds a game. She is a player who she can get in the groove and start to make a whole bunch of stuff happen. Cody McMahon is someone who can score. Right? She's not a shooter, in my opinion. She is a scorer. She's a 6-foot forward who can just find baskets. And I'm going to do it. Maybe it's going to be tomorrow or something like that. But I have to do a stream specifically about Ole Miss. Because Ole Miss has gotten some huge pickups. Huge pickups in the transfer portal. This is not the only move that Coach Yo has made. Coach Yo is like, you know what? I have been showing people for years what I can do with not the best talent. No offense to the players, but like truly not the best talent. and how deep she has gotten her teams and how they have played, it has stacked up, where now big-time players in the country are not seeing Ole Miss as a last resort school. They are seeing Ole Miss as a school that can actually make some stuff shake in the NCAA tournament, right? They are considering Ole Miss to be a true competitor when it comes to the NCAA. And I think that is huge. And honestly, all of that is the result of Coach Yo. Guys, my favorite coach in college basketball by far is Coach Yo. Because what she has been able to do with not the best of talent, but hard work, defense, and a grit to her game. And I love it. I love it. I love to see Ole Miss players play, because you know when you are watching Ole Miss play, you know they're going to give it all they got. You know they're going to play some defense. You know they're going to lock in. Yes, they may not be the best shooters, right? They may not be. But on any given night, Ole Miss can get anybody. Doesn't matter who you are. And I love that. I absolutely love that for Coach Yo, that she's now getting some bigger players that are like, you know what? Yes, Coach Yo, let's go. Let's ride and let's do something together. Let's do something together. I love it. So I just want to talk about that real quick. Onward and upward for Ole Miss. It's really cool. So again, shout out to Ole Miss for this pickup. I think this is a great pickup. And again, I'll have a separate stream specifically about Ole Miss and all of the players that they have picked up in the transfer portal. Because y'all, this lady been working. She been working. And I love to see it. Again, yeah, man. It's cool. It really is. Because here's the thing. I am a fan of parity, right? I don't like the idea of every year we go into it and just assume that, UConn, a healthy UConn and South Carolina is going to make it to the championship game. That's not fun. You know, I love the fact that, like, we are seeing other teams do some stuff, right? The year that Texas had, the year that UCLA had, Southern California, right? I love that we are seeing other teams do their thing. And for Ole Miss to hire Coach Yo and to allow her the ability to run her team the way that she needs to has been huge. She has grown this team from being absolute trash to being a sought-after team in the SEC. Because it was just South Carolina and LSU, for the most part, in the SEC. Now Ole Miss, I love it. One day I need to figure out a way to get an interview with Coach Yo. Like I would love to talk to this lady. She is just awesome. From afar, she seems awesome. All right. I see some comparisons between Anissa Morrow and Cody McMahon. I don't think they're similar. I don't think they're similar players. No. Sure, they're both physical, but nowhere near. Nowhere near. All right. Anyway, let's continue moving on. All right. Next up, and the final almost the final topic of the day is Unrivaled, and how Unrivaled has nearly broken even in year one. This is huge information, and I kind of want to talk about it. So let's be real, guys. When Unrivaled launched, there's a lot of folks that were side-eyeing it and being like, I'm looking at these league promises. I don't know if y'all can keep this up, right? It's the lavish salaries of the players, primetime TV spots, elite players that were going to participate in this thing, a luxury facility, lots of stuff was touted around Unrivaled. A lot of stuff that sounded great on paper. But the question hanging over everyone's head was, how realistic is this? And can you keep this up? Now we have our first answer. And it's better than expected. Unrivaled almost broke even in its first year, according to league commissioner Mickey Lawler. The league was closer to profitability than a lot of people, myself, even realized. She said, we almost broke even in the first year. She gave an interview to Front Office Sports and Annie Constable of Front Office Sports. And also, guys, Annie Constable, the reporter who was the reporter for the Chicago Sun-Times, the one who was the Sky reporter, the one who was breaking all the news around the Sky and around everything that was happening in the WNBA. She left the Sun-Times, I don't know, a month ago? No, a couple weeks ago, I think now. And she took a job at Front Office Sports. She's going to be reporting about women's sports in general and like the business of women's sports. So she is still covering women's basketball, which is great. But it looks like she won't only be reporting about women's basketball. She'll be reporting about just about everything when it comes to women's sports. But she did write an article specifically about Unrivaled. And that this is the article that I'm really referencing in this stream. So I'll link the article in the comments below if y'all want to actually read it. I actually do highly recommend you read it. It's a not long read, I would say. So I'm gonna put it in the chat real quick. But that's where she went. Right, there was a lot of question marks about where in the world is she gonna go. But yeah, she went to Front Office Sports and that's the thing there. Anyway, guys, if y'all are having issues with the sound, it is not me. It is YouTube. Please leave out, come back in, and it should work for you just fine, okay? All right, leave out, come back in. Thank you. And hopefully eventually YouTube fixes whatever this issue is. It's crazy. Anyway, let's go back to the numbers for Unrivaled and the fact that they almost were able to draw profitability. Shout out to Kentucky Rick. Kentucky Rick is doing his thing. Says, got merch, Quita does. Yes, go to QLSapparel.com. All right, thank you. Thank you, Kentucky Rick. All right, anyway, it's impressive for any new league to say that they are almost at profitability, especially in year one, let alone for a league that is player-funded, self-owned by the players, right? And they're building stuff from the ground. And they're also just creating a space for women's sports. Because women's sports, a lot of times, often gets not the best amenities, right? But Unrivaled is a league that did not just survive in their first year. They thrived. They pulled in $27 million in revenue in year one. And a large part of that was fueled by the deals that they had, right? They had a major deal with TNT Sports. They had a whole bunch of sponsors. They had a lot of investors that have invested in this company. And they had sales for merch that cleared 7 figures. Wild. 7 figures in merch sales. It's kind of awesome. But here's the deal. It wasn't just about merch sales. It was also about viewership. So some people will listen to the numbers I'm about to say and will think, oh, that's terrible. It's actually not for women's sports, specifically for a brand new product. Let's go through it. All right. Unrivaled regular season and playoffs averaged around 221,000 viewers on TNT and True TV. The season total reached about 11.9 million unique viewers. The one-on-one tournament finals drew a peak of 398,000 viewers. And the championship game between Rose BC and Vinyl BC, which was during, I believe it was, wasn't this during the, it was during it was an NCAA thing that was happening around the same time. But anyway, that averaged 364,000 viewers. All of these numbers were record-breaking numbers for TNT Sports for women's basketball, because they didn't really air women's basketball until this year, so it wasn't that hard to become the get record-breaking numbers for TNT, because they don't really, that's not really what they do. That's what it was. Thank you, Tulip. It was bracket day on the day of the championship. It was bracket reveal day, and so that was not a good day and a good time for when that championship game was. I ended up, I believe I was live streaming the reveal show while the game was happening, and it wasn't great at all. But despite that, a lot of people still did watch, and we saw the 10 most on TNT happen during Unrivaled, and we also saw them get the 10 most streamed women's hoops games on Max, so that's cool. Here's the deal: the league did not just start, right? They started in January, ended in March. They didn't just show up; they showed out, and fans noticed. Unrivaled is something that ended up being bigger than what people thought, and to think. It was created by two players, Nafisa Collier and Brianna Stewart. They came together with a vision, and we'll ultimately see how this thing continues to go. But there was a lot of people who were like, no, this is going to fail. This is going to be terrible, yada, yada. But it turns out, no, actually. Now, are these, did they get numbers that specifically rivaled, the NCAA and or the WNBA? No, not really. But these numbers are good considering this is the first year they're doing this. And considering this is a brand new product with a brand new concept that hadn't been proven. Watching full court 3-on-3 basketball, very different, very, very different. And the league generated a lot of views on the internet as well. 589 million social media impressions. They had over 730,000 followers across all platforms. Players who are in the league saw almost 1 million new followers collectively on social. And Unrivaled did a really good job with social. They had a lot of mic'd up moments, a lot of moments where you were able to see the behind the scenes of, what was happening with the various teams, a lot of fun moments, family friendly moments with their kids and whatnot. And off the screen, off the internet, every single game in person at Wayfair Arena was sold out. We saw ticket sales blow past 7 figures. And there were fans who came from 44 states and 13 countries. Myself was included. I came to a game. Unrivaled was not just about engagement on social. It was about community in the building. I went to Unrivaled. I was able to witness what it had to offer. I did a stream about it. It was pretty cool to just sort of see the things that they had for fans to do before the games, like the various activations. And then when you went in the arena, it was really, really, really good to see. All right. Now, is this the end all be all? No. But it's a good start. The league put its money where its mouth is. They gave $8.65 million in total player compensation. That included player salaries, tournament prizes, championship bonuses, and equity. The average salary was $200,000, and every player had injury insurance that covered their WNBA play if they got hurt. Because there was a lot of injuries, a lot of injuries in Unrivaled, and it was good to know that they did have insurance for these players. Because if you get a season-ending injury in Unrivaled, now you get your salary paid for the WNBA. That's good. That's really good player-first infrastructure. Now, was everything perfect? No, it absolutely wasn't. Everything was not perfect for the first year of Unrivaled. Could more things have gone off the rails? Sure. But I like that Unrivaled was sort of learning and growing in real time. And they showed that it was there's this clear appetite for a different form of women's hoops. Year 2 is already in motion. They're possibly going to be in more cities, expanded seating, more merch, potentially more star power. The league is trying to target top talent. And there's some players that did not play last season that they want to play this upcoming season for season 2. Meaning primarily Caitlin Clark, Asia Wilson. They eventually going to look to try to get them in this league. This was a very solid year for Unrivaled. Now, am I saying this was the greatest thing ever? No, it wasn't. Absolutely. Could the numbers, the viewership numbers have been better? Absolutely, sure. But this was a great start, and this was way better than what I expected, guys. This was overall. Unrivaled is not just a flash in the pan startup. They are a bold, business savvy enterprise that is looking to shake things up permanently, not just temporarily. And that's something I think is pretty cool. I think that is pretty cool. And I wanted to kind of talk about it and just sort of like hear you all's thoughts. Did you all watch Unrivaled this past season? What you all overall think about it? Let me know your thoughts. Because I thought this year was a really good year. And honestly, guys, I cannot wait until next year. I can't wait. I think next year is going to be awesome. It is going to be really awesome to see what's going to happen. It's going to be really interesting to see, because there's so much talent when it comes to women's basketball. So much talent out there. There's so many people who are doing their thing in the WNBA and in college basketball, and I can't wait to see them play in this format. I think it's going to be a very fun format to see for the future, really. For the future. And let me see what y'all got to say in the comments below. Again, thank y'all so much for rocking with me. I make content all about women's basketball, so if y'all want to support the channel, please make sure to support. I am on the road to 50,000 subscribers, so please consider rocking with me. Please consider rocking with me. All right, let's get to y'all comments. Road 2 says, I enjoyed Unrivaled, impressed with hard work done behind the scenes. They were working. They really were was working for sure. Thank DW says, I absolutely loved Unrivaled. The W can learn a lot from them. I agree. I agree with that. This was a good year for women's basketball overall. And I think it's kind of cool. Just to see what has happened with Unrivaled. Let's see. Jay says they have to switch to 5-on-5 to look more serious. To be honest with you, I was very worried about the 3-on-3. And I actually think it worked out fine. Now, does it lead to some erratic play at times? Yes. But I think it's pretty cool. I think it's a pretty cool concept that if Unrivaled can continue to do this for the next couple of years, honestly, we may see an NBA equivalent to this. Now, of course, there is the Big Three. The Big Three does exist, and shout out to Ice Cube and what he's doing on that front. But that's 3-on-3 half court, right? That's 3-on-3 half court, and this is 3-on-3 full court. Now, is it a modified court? Yes, modified court, but yeah, it's something to note. It is something to note. All right. Let's see. Sakim says they need to invite college players to boost popularity. I mean, they already have. Flage, Juju, and Paige already locked in for future contracts. Jay says Nafisa and Stewie built a solid base. The league was entertaining and engaging. Facts. J-Dub says, I watched and really enjoyed it. Loved the social media engagement and the showing of all players to show them more as people and basketball players. Big shout out to the relief players. Yes. Yes. That's for sure. Cliff says Chelsea Gray was putting skill on display. Facts. Yeah, Chelsea Gray, she was back in her bag. She was backing her bag. She was and she had been it's kind of like, she was like, I've been gone so long, y'all almost forgot what I had. Because she got a bag. She totally got a bag. Nancy says this league exposed those who don't have all-around skills. Facts. All was exposed this year in Unrivaled. I totally agree with that. Yes, I think you're absolutely right. Because 3-on-3, you can't hide. And that's the thing I love the most. You saw who really, really had talent. You saw it. And who was really, really versatile. There are some players who are great at 5-on-5. Spectacular. Because they can, when they get tired, they can kind of hide out in the corner a little bit on offense. And they can kind of figure out ways to hide. But 3-on-3, full court, you can't hide. You cannot hide at all. And then that 1-on-1 tournament showed it even more. Because some of the players I expected to do well did not do well. And players I did not expect, like Aaliyah Edwards, who has an all-around game. And to be honest with you, I did not appreciate Aaliyah Edwards' game fully. Of course, I watched her at UConn. She was great. I watched her in her rookie season. She showed a lot of promises. But when I tell you, this 3-on-3 was huge for Aaliyah Edwards. I was like, wow. Aaliyah Edwards, I feel bad. I was kind of sleeping on you a little bit. I did not know you were this good. I didn't know. But now I know. Now I know. Because all was exposed and it was shown that you were legit. A legit all-around freaking player. And I loved it. I love to see it. And it also just shows some people that, oh man, maybe you're not really a legit all-around player. There was some stuff. So I absolutely loved it. Jigen, thanks so much for the super chat, says, I would love to see Paige versus Caitlyn in the 1-on-1 format in Unrivaled. I would love to see that too. I think that'd be so fun. If that happened, I guarantee you, it'd be probably 1 million people that would watch that game. It'd probably be 1 million people that would watch. That would be huge. Huge. Faye says people were sleeping on her. Aaliyah Edwards. Yeah. And I knew Aaliyah was good. Like that. Like I didn't think she was a bad player. I thought she was a good player. I did not know she was that good. I didn't know. So I thought that was pretty cool. Rotu says the 3-on-3 showed who all say they got game. I think that made some players milk those injuries. Facts, yeah. I do think that this 3-on-3 winded players way more than they expected. I think this was way more grueling than players expected, and I do think to a small extent, some players like, well, you know what? I'm gonna really take my time. I'm gonna really take my time getting back because it's a lot. It's a lot. It is a whole lot. Facts, Valerie. Yeah, Valerie says Angel Reese also showed her toughness against vets. She showed heart. Here's the deal. While Aaliyah Edwards really surprised me in some ways, because I didn't know she was that good that this fast, Angel Reese showed me exactly who I thought Angel Reese was. A lot of people try to say all this stuff about Angel and try to downplay her as a player, but Angel Reese is a straight up dog on the court. She is someone who absolutely holds her own against vets. She did that in the WNBA season. We saw it. I mean, I watch all the Sky games. So I saw it last year during the WNBA season. And there were people, I saw it in college, right? And going into Unrivaled, there was a lot of people that was like, see, she's about to get exposed. She's not very good and blah, 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 blah. No. Angel Reese showed y'all that she is still that girl. That's what she showed. She is someone who can be a point forward type of player. She showed that she can absolutely bang with the best players in the world. Angel Reese held her own against Nafisa Collier. Angel Reese held her own against Breanna Stewart. Yeah, so I was not surprised at all by what Angel did. I wasn't surprised. W.S. Judah says, Quita, you didn't know Aaliyah Edwards was good, but you called Cadence Samuels great? ? Come on, Quita, LOL. Context is key. WS. Context is key. And saying that Cadence Samuels is a great player, I am talking about not on the UConn level great, mid-major great. There's a difference, in my opinion. There's a difference between levels. All right? Cadence Samuels is a mid-major player who was on UConn. Not necessarily a good fit for that, right? Aaliyah Edwards was a really good player for UConn. Fit the system really well. A really good player when it comes to just her all around game. And in her rookie season in WNBA, I thought she played well. She's good. And in Unrivaled, it could be that it's probably because I didn't watch every single game of Aaliyah Edwards. I didn't. Now, I watched every single game of Angel because she played for the Sky. And so, it could be that, I probably watched like maybe close to half or something like that, probably, for Aaliyah Edwards for the Mystics. But, I didn't see her as good as she actually was. So, anyway, hopefully that makes sense. Like, there's levels to when I talk about certain stuff. Like, and so the context in when I'm talking about something matters a lot. All right. So I may say someone is good, and I may say someone is fantastic. I may say someone is great. It depends on the context in which I'm saying it. Someone can be a fantastic player at a certain level and basic at another level. You know what I'm saying? Like, anyway. Let's get to another super chat. Thank you so much, Felicia. Whoa, thank you so much, Felicia, for the super chat. Salute to you. Says, I loved Unrivaled. They promoted the players equally. The players got one-on-one training to improve their skills. People did take it seriously. Angel rocked. Yeah. Facts. Yeah. I mean, I think you're right. This is a legit league. And the way they handled things was great. Their social media people were fantastic. I don't know who they were, but whoever they were, they should have got a raise for this year. And hopefully they're back for next year. I thought they did a really good job. I thought they did a really, really good job. A really, really, really good job. Jay, I disagree. Is saying that you don't need a basketball IQ or any kind of bag to play in 3-on-3 full court. Just run. It's just cardio. I don't agree with that. It's not just to play it right. It's not just cardio, because 3-on-3, the court, and also on a smaller full court, the court is small. And so you have to figure out ways to cut to the basket. Like, you have to do a lot of screen and roll action. You have to figure out ways to get open and get good looks. There's way less mismatches when it comes to 3-on-3. Full court 3-on-3. Now, yes, sure. If you're just it can just be cardio. But to be done right is not just cardio. To be done right is, what, in my opinion, way more strategic. It's harder. But sure, have I seen guys at the park, when I was younger, play 3-on-3, and it literally is just cardio because they don't know what they're doing. They just running. Sure, absolutely. But done right is not. It's a lot of strategy. Because again, 3-on-3, smaller court. Not only do you got to run down there and do something, you have to figure out a way to get the ball in the basket. Everybody's guarded. The court is smaller. You have to figure out, you do this screen and then this screen and then someone cuts, and you have to run plays. You have to run real plays. So yeah, I disagree that it's just cardio. Sure, anything can be just cardio if you don't play it right. Sports fan says, I enjoyed Unrivaled and look forward to next season. This format is grueling and requires skill and stamina. Facts. Yeah. Yeah, and I really like the fourth quarter. I really, really like the fourth quarter. I really, really like the fourth quarter. And yes, Cliff reminds us again that it's not for everybody. You don't like it, don't watch. Yes. I think that's something to know. They're like, not everything is for everybody. Not everything is for everybody. And it's okay. That is absolutely A-okay. All right, guys, we have reached the moment where I am unveiling a new series. And it is called, I don't know what it should be called. Y'all let me know what this section should be called in the future. Let me know. But I've been on YouTube for a very long time. Very, very long time. I've been on YouTube for 15 years, something like that. Long time as a viewer. And then just really started making content in the last couple of years. But I have seen women's basketball on YouTube grow from really not really anybody. And if it was people talking about it was just people ragging on the WNBA, to now seeing a lot of coverage in a lot of different aspects of women's basketball. And in this section, I want to highlight once a month. I'll probably do this once a month. Well, I'll highlight a channel that I highly recommend y'all rock out with. All right, I highly, highly, highly recommend y'all rock out with. And this edition of the segment, I am talking about the It's Just Different podcast. Of course, it says podcast in it. I haven't listened to it as a podcast. I've just watched it on YouTube. But this is a channel that I recently discovered, and I was like, whoa, this is a fantastic channel. Because this channel is specifically, so the girl who runs it, her name's Ashley. She used to play basketball. It used to be pretty good. And she actually has a channel that's specifically geared towards parents, and specifically younger players. And I found this channel and I was like, ooh, this is pretty interesting. Again, it's called It's Just Different podcast. And she's just talking about different aspects. She had a particular episode that I really, really liked. She put it out a couple of days ago that focuses on AAU. And I don't have, I'm not a parent, right? And the majority of her stuff is talking specifically to parents. But I thought this was crazy interesting. I really did. I thought this was a really interesting concept. I thought what she was talking about was really interesting, and so I wanted to highlight it. So shout out to Ashley for this podcast. But yeah, so she covers a different topic every time. And this one, the one that I watched specifically was about AAU, but she talks about she's specifically talking to high school parents in a lot of ways, and also high school players as well. Just talking about youth basketball, AAU, recruitment for college programs, that type of thing. And she just covers a lot. She does some stops at different colleges and whatnot. I thought this was pretty cool. Again, I am a YouTube viewer. It says podcast in the name, so I guess it's the podcast, but I don't actually listen to the podcast version of stuff. I just watch it on YouTube if it's a podcast. So yeah, this is a channel that I recently found that I was like, ooh, this is very, very interesting. And again, goes over basketball tips, recruitment, very, very geared towards parents and players who are in, grammar school, high school, that really want to play basketball at the next level. I thought it was pretty cool. So again, this is the channel. It's called the It's Just Different podcast. Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool, and I wanted to share it with you all because I love the fact that we're seeing different types of women's basketball content. This is not content that's covering viral stuff, right? This is content that that is useful to the people it's geared towards. And again, I'm not the target audience for this, but I thought it was pretty interesting. I watched it. So yeah. Anyway, that is a channel that I recently discovered that I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. I gotta watch it. So shout out to Ashley from the It's Just Different podcast. That's pretty cool. So make sure to go over and subscribe to her channel. Right now she's at 1.44 thousand subscribers. Let's get that up. Okay. We got a lot of people in the chat. I'm sure some of y'all are parents of high school players, right? So, or some of y'all are parents, some of y'all aren't, but I'm just saying, check it out. Check it out and just see if you're interested in it. But yeah, I really do want to do my part in growing the game of women's basketball in general. And that means the infrastructure of women's basketball, meaning the people who are covering it, meaning the people who are covering various aspects of it. And this is an aspect that I just never thought about, really, when it comes to recruitment, when it comes to just ensuring that players and their parents feel supported in a lot of ways. So I just wanted to talk about it. I just wanted to talk about it. So again, that is the channel highlights of the month. And we'll do this as the months go on. We'll get an actual name for this segment. But yeah, if y'all have channels that y'all like, and that are uplifting the game of women's basketball in some way, subscribe to it. Support them. All right? Support them. Because the only way that women's basketball grows is if there's more people out there. Right? I don't want y'all to just rock with me. I don't. I love that y'all rocking with me. I appreciate it. I am grateful. But again, my goal is to grow the game. That's my goal. All right. And so, yes, rock with me. Join me every morning. Absolutely. But also check out other channels and what they're doing. Check them out. And I will do my best to try to highlight them. The ones that are doing it right, not the ones who are just spamming and clickbaiting and, rage baiting for clicks. So, yeah. People who are doing it right, in my opinion. All right, let's get to some of y'all chats. Let's get to some of y'all super chats. Oh, y'all see Mr. President over here? Y'all see Mr. President? He's like, there we go. Y'all see him? I went to this shot because you can see him sleeping. You can see him sleeping. All right, let's get to some of y'all super chats. Thank y'all so much for rocking with me in these super chat streets. Ty says, thank you so much for the super chat. Ty says, would love to see you tap into high school girls basketball. It's some major hoopers out there. I agree. And I would love to. I agree. And I would love to. Oh, it looks like, thanks for the second super chat. So you corrected your it's probably autocorrect that did that to you. That darn autocorrect. Row 2, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, can I talk? Says, Quita, you are really all about promoting women's basketball as you are now highlighting other channels. Blessings be upon you. Well, thank you. And it truly, guys, like this is an endeavor for the future of women's basketball. This is not just a me thing, right? This channel is not just a me thing, right? This is to grow the game. And in order to grow the game, you got to tell people about other people who are growing the game in their own way. And you got to highlight them. You got to talk about them. And, the hope is that we have a whole ecosystem. Of people who are like, yes, women's basketball on YouTube. Because the more that happens, the more that the people with the money start to invest, right? The more that the people with the money start to invest. To where we're actually seeing it now. Where like Bleacher Report has a weekly, I believe they have a weekly women's basketball show now. They didn't before, right? We're starting to see like the Ringer got a WNBA show or women's basketball show. Like we're seeing these bigger players with money to be like, actually, this space is viable. Let me get on in here. Let me get on in this space and try to make some stuff happen. That's what we want. That's what we want to see. Now, do I still want a place to be involved in this in some way? Yeah, absolutely. But I don't want to just be the only one. I want this channel to be successful to really show a model for what can be for women's basketball if you do it right. And I want to be someone who can highlight other people and be like, oh, check them out. They're awesome. Check this person out. They're fantastic. You know? And the more organic stuff we get, the more organic traction we have, the more that the bigger players with the money can actually make some stuff happen. Right? Right? I'm just saying. Anyway, let's get to another super chat. Thank you so much, brother DJ, for the super chat. Said, I'd love to see Kennedy Carter work her way back into the W through Unrivaled. She'd also be very interesting to see in the one-on-one tournament. Yeah, I think it'd be great. I think it'd be really, really fun to see Kennedy Carter in Unrivaled. Will she play in Unrivaled? I don't know, because truly, I think China is about to give her even more of a bag for next offseason. So I don't know. Would it be great? Yeah, sure. I think she would thrive in the 3-on-3 tournament style, and I think she'd thrive in the 1v1 tournament. Absolutely. Will she? I don't know. Because here's the deal. Here's the deal, guys. China pays players a lot of money. And so it's a question of if can Unrivaled match whatever she may be getting paid. Kelly says, Asia isn't coming. She has stated numerous times that she enjoys her time away from the game in the offseason. She has stated that. She has. But you know what? Nafisa and Stewie are still going to try. They are still going to try. Okay? They're still going to try. Because why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? CL says, network and build the brand of the women's game. There's enough basketball for everyone to prosper. Facts. Yeah, facts. Facts. All right. B. Shane says, newish here. What time do these morning lives start? I'll always catch them at the middle or the end. They start, well, they're supposed to start around 7:15. But lately I've been starting around 7:30. Actually, 7:30. 7:30 Central Time or 8:30 Eastern Time. 7:30 Central or 8:30 Eastern. All right. Thank you so much, B. Shane, for joining the chat and joining the live stream. I really do appreciate it. Salute to you. If you know any other people who are interested in women's basketball and what they want, like a morning show, rock out with the channel here. Rock out with your girl. My hope is I'm working on some stuff behind the scenes to really make this thing like a real show. Like I want to be able to do more with graphics. I want to do more with I want to have some sound. Like, you know how if you're watching First Take and you're listening to them talk about something and they start talking about a game and then the game pops up and then it's like some audio music in the background as they're talking through it. Eventually I need to get there. But slowly but surely every day. Join me here every day. I'm trying to figure out ways to get better and better and better at what I do. So give me suggestions, give me thoughts, give me feedback. I love feedback. I love suggestions. I love thoughts. This is what I enjoy doing. I don't believe that I am, where I should be ultimately. And I want your feedback on what stuff should happen in the future. As y'all can see, Mr. President is still... Mr. President, that dog is he's knocked out. He don't want to move. Anyway, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate it. Y'all have a Oh, we had another super chat. Thank you so much, Shay, for the super chat. Says the fact that I watch you and strolled up on It's Just Different podcast about AAU last night helps me a lot. I love it. Great minds think alike, I guess. Great minds think alike. All right. But yeah, so much more to come on this morning show. Again, every single morning we doing this. Y'all can look at it like clockwork. Now the exact time may fluctuate, maybe like 10 minutes or so. But every morning I will be here. So rock out with me. Okay? Rock out with me. Yeah, we're going to do this together. We're going to grow the game of women's basketball together. We're going to grow in our knowledge. We're going to grow in our enjoyment. And ultimately, we are going to grow other channels. Like, let's go. Also, I'm seriously thinking about, like, should I break this out into a separate channel? Like seriously. Should I break Quita in the mornings in a separate channel? Because I'm wondering, like, it feels like now my entire channel has gotten infiltrated with just Quita in the mornings. What do y'all think? I don't know. Let me know. FaZe, I'm getting off live. Y'all have a great day. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. I gotta go. I see y'all in the next one. Until next time, guys. Be kind, be respectful, and I love you. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.